All right, my name is Jacinto Salazar. I'm the Transfer Success Coordinator here at CSUMB, and I'm extremely excited to welcome everybody to CSUMB Transfer Week Day 2. We have some really exciting information that we're going to share today that's going to help with your student success, get you on the fast track to getting on the right foot, really preparing you for orientation so that you can be better informed and prepared to ask questions and get some of that information that's going to be so important about all the different things that you need to do to be successful when you make that transition in the fall semester. And so before we get started today, I want to highlight two folks that are really important, two of the transfer peer mentors that work in the transfer center. They're going to be dropping links as the presenters give information. So make sure you snag those links. And they're also going to be just helping make sure, like I said, all the questions are answered that get dropped into the chat, and make sure that everybody's information gets delivered in a proper manner. So I'm going to go ahead and let the two of them introduce themselves, and we'll go ahead and start with Addie.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Addie. I'm a peer mentor at the Transfer Student Success Center. I am an HCOM major with an emphasis in communication studies, and I transferred from Modesto Junior College in the fall of 2020, and I will be graduating this May. It's very nice to see all of you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Miranda Sampson. I am a business administrations major with a concentration in agribusiness. I transferred from Cabrillo College in the fall of 2020, and I will also be graduating this semester. So thank you all for being here, and hopefully we get some good information for you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now so we can begin the presentation. Can everybody see my screen? All right. So a couple of things you can see again on the left, the panelists that are going to be with us in their respective areas. There's a QR code. So if you take a brief second, scan that QR code, that's going to take you to the Transfer Student Success Center social media landing page. And that's going to have all of the information that you need to stay in contact and follow us on social media. We'll cover that at the very end in more detail. Some of the goals that we have for today is we want you to begin to develop a sense of belonging at CSUMB. We want to help prepare you, right, to engage at orientation and ask really informed questions. And then also to encourage support-seeking behavior. Students that do the best are the ones that go out and get the most help and the most resources. And then also learn some of the subtle differences between the community college, if you transfer from a community college, and what we have here at CSUMB. And so with that, I want to go ahead and pass it over to Julio Castro, who's the Education Abroad Advisor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to CSUMB. My name is Julio Castro, and I am the Education Abroad Advisor here on campus. I do like to mention I am a CSUMB alum, so I graduated in 2013. And while I was a student at CSUMB, going through my orientation, I checked out all the different resources on campus. And one of the main resources that I was very interested in was study abroad. It's something that caught my attention. I knew I wanted to do eventually, but I didn't know where to go. So I now work here at the office. I studied abroad in Spain for a year at the Universidad Complutense de Madrid through CSUMB. Later at graduate school in a different institution, I studied in Germany for a semester while I was working on my master's. CSUMB has a pretty big portfolio of programs. As Jacinto mentioned, please feel free to reach out to us as you are getting ready to come to CSUMB. I've actually already been working with students who are transferring. Even if you haven't already started your semester, I'm happy to meet with you virtually for advising. Our contact email, educationabroad@csumb.edu, is there. All the emails come to me. All the information that I'm going to briefly share today is on csumb.edu/educationabroad. Our office is Gavilan Hall, Suite 207. When you finally get to take your campus tour, if you haven't already, you're going to see this pole, and our flag is right there. Our office is on the second floor. You're going to see a lot of flags in my window. Next slide, please, Jacinto. So we have over 100 universities all over, spread out throughout 30 countries and 6 continents, which is kind of a wonderful thing. And we have programs available for all majors. So all majors have the opportunity to study abroad, whether it's for a short term or a long term. The programs that we have are available through CSUMB Exchange, CSU International Programs, and National Student Exchange. You can decide to go abroad for a semester. You can go abroad for a year, for a summer or a winter program. It's really whenever it works for you, academically and financially. The CSU International Programs is kind of a wonderful opportunity for you to study abroad along with fellow students from other CSUs. So we have had students who have planned other study abroad where they're a friend from a different CSU and they study abroad in the same country in a different place. Everywhere where all the locations where our students go have a international program team on site. So here in CSUMB, we have a team of about 10, and we work with all the international students that you're going to be seeing in your classrooms, that you're going to be seeing at the different orientation events. They come here for 1 semester, 1 year, some of them for their full degree. Some of them are going to be your roommates, some of them are going to be all over. So it's a really cool opportunity to get to know them and talk to them. And housing will vary by different programs. When you think study abroad, you probably thought, okay, everyone is doing a homestay, right? So the opportunity is there, but now we operate kind of similar to CSUMB, where you can decide to live either off campus or on campus. Travel restrictions are being lifted, which is kind of great. We're very excited. We can come back to the classroom, which means we can send students abroad to different countries. And so we're very eager to be sending students abroad. This summer, I have about 4 students that are going to be going abroad. And for the fall, I already have 45 students who have confirmed their locations all over the world, which is pretty standard. I would say 45 is a good solid number. So we're back to the numbers of students going abroad prior to the pandemic. Next slide, please. So a couple of the benefits, you can study your courses in English, right? If you're worried that you don't speak a second language, you can take your courses in English for your different majors. But if you do speak the local language, then that's totally a possibility for you to take those courses. It actually opens up the menu of courses for you a little bit bigger. You can decide to study a whole new language. Here on campus, we have 4 different languages that we teach. Through study abroad, you have access to languages that we're probably not going to teach her anytime soon because they're way too remote, right, or different, or maybe not widely spoken, but you have access to them. And you also have courses not offered at CSUMB. So I have students who are doing the most wonderful, the most incredible courses that they're offering at their university. I attended a university for 85,000 students. So they had courses for 85,000 students. Here we're closer to 8,000, right? A little under. So we have that set amount of courses. So it's a really cool opportunity for you to take courses either that are part of your degree for your major, your minor, for your elective, or some courses that we don't have here. You get to explore new places, experience different cultures, enjoy local travel, meet international friends, and try new foods. Even though you do have the support from the international staff there, you really are on your own, just like here at CSUMB, you're able to do as you will. And most students take the opportunity to kind of wander around and take beautiful pictures like this student who's currently in South Korea. Next slide. National Student Exchange, it's a wonderful opportunity if you've always wanted to study out of state, but maybe you thought, I don't think going out of the state is feasible for me because maybe tuition, double, right, what we pay here in California, or what you would pay as an out-of-state student. The National Student Exchange, you can study in 200 universities across the US. I have a student right now in Hawaii, one in New York. I have one that's going to Texas in the fall. You have 48 states to choose from, and you don't have to pay out-of-state tuition. You pay in-state tuition, or if you choose to, you can pay CSUMB tuition. You can also go to Canada, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the US Virgin Islands for a semester or for a year. All your financial aid is eligible for all of our study abroad programs for a semester, a year, and for our National Student Exchange programs. So I think cost is the biggest thing, right? Can I afford it? I can guarantee you most of our students are financial aid recipients who made it work with financial aid and a little bit of other savings and scholarships. Next slide. So just kind of wrapping up, I encourage you to follow us on Instagram. We have CSUMB International page. I'm going to be posting about the summer information sessions. So my one-on-one sessions that I'm going to be hosting this summer, this fall, we're going to post about applications, deadlines, and events. Feel free to contact us. Feel free to, if you have any questions, feel free to message us on Instagram, or again, just reach out to us. Once again, my name is Julio Castro, and I'm always here to help you out with anything you need. I think that was my final slide. So yeah, start your adventure. Feel free to scan the QR code. All of the application steps are on our website. But again, I'm happy to help out.
And so next up, we have from the Otter Cultural Center, or as we refer to it at CSUMB, the OC3, Rudy Medina, who's the director of the Otter Cultural Center.
Thank you, Jacinto. My name is Rudy, and I'll just say one thing about to follow up Julio is I did a study abroad and it was amazing. I highly recommend it. I got to go to South America, and I did the year-long study abroad, which I think gives you a little bit of more time to kind of get to know where you're studying, but also it gives you the opportunity to see the area. So I got to travel all across South America, and really life-changing experience. So and I was broke when I went. I was so poor. I'm originally from Salinas, farm working parents. So again, like really recommend that opportunity. But I'm here to talk about Otter Cross Cultural Center, another great opportunity for students as you are transferring to CSUMB. So we're located in the Student Union. So as you visit CSUMB, we are in kind of the hub of the university. It's a brand new building. We're located on the 3rd floor. And a little bit about us, how we function is that we have 4 guiding values that our office operates under. We are built upon affirming equity, creating sustainable social change, not just on campus, but in the larger community. We're built upon constructing brave spaces so students can be themselves on campus. So you can be your authentic self, you can feel comfortable, and not just in this space, but that you're able to carry that onto other spaces on campus. We also promote acts of healing in order to impact the communities we serve. And again, we're not just talking about the CSUMB campus, but we're talking about the broader community too. And here is some of our social media pages. So make sure to take a picture, screenshot them, and give us a follow. And if we can go to our next slide. And so what we do is, again, we build community. We're really big into creating a community of folks that where people can kind of share space, whether it's hanging out in our center, whether it's taking a nap sometimes after a heavy day of studying, or whether it's continuing the conversations that we're having in the center and having them on other places on campus. We really want you to have a signature experience once you're on campus, and that you're able to connect with folks, not just students, but also professors, with staff, and other folks across campus and administrators. We have our collaborative signature events where we collaborate with departments across campus to put on really large scale events like the All Black Gala that we just did this past weekend. So if I look a little bit tired, it's because I have not slept since like a week ago. We also do the OC3 block party, which hopefully you'll be able to attend at the beginning of the fall semester. And through the OC3 block party, we really try to bridge, again, like the broader community with the CSUMB community, where you can learn about resources that are available in Monterey County and at CSUMB. We do the Work Witch Drag Show, International Women's Day. We have a Ignite Social Justice Retreat, and we also do social justice dialogues throughout the year. Apart from that, we have other educational workshops, which are a little bit smaller events. But again, like that theme of continuing dialogues that are usually not had, and just giving space for folks to really explore what it means to be either a person of color, to be queer, and to really explore your identities. We do internships and professional developments. We also have 9 Affinity graduations that we'll show on the next slide. We provide resources free resources in our center. So if you're ever in need, you can always visit us and check out what we have to give out. And then lastly, we have a really amazing newsletter where we try to compile all the services across campus, and again, the broader community. So as you're looking for jobs, opportunities, or just events to go to, if you follow our page, you'll get an email at least once a week with all these different opportunities, scholarships too. I've been in this position for almost 3 months now, a little bit less. And I'm already hearing of students who are thanking other folks or myself about the job opportunities that come out on the newsletter. So again, make sure to give us a follow on there too. And if you go to the next slide. So as you're attending CSUMB and getting ready for graduation, hopefully in another 2-3 years, you'll be able to participate in the Affinity graduations. And so OC3 hosts 9 different graduations, which I won't go over all of them, but you can kind of read them. And what they do is they provide a space to kind of celebrate your graduation in a really cool environment where you can celebrate with your friends and family and just kind of let loose. It's still like a kind of commencement style, but I feel like it's a different vibe to it because you're in community with other folks. And there's just this really festive atmosphere. So I would highly recommend that you participate in one of the Affinity grads. You can participate in as many as you identify with. And apart from the fun event that you get to go to, you also receive a stole that's particular to the graduation you attend. And you can kind of see them on the pictures listed here. Yeah. And next slide, but I believe I am done. But yeah, thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Leslie Williams. I am your Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students. I am so excited to see so many of you online tonight. I mean, I know you're probably doing classes at your current school and it's a very busy time. So to come tonight is great to see you and I look forward to seeing you in the fall. So on my slide, you will actually see a lot of the offices that I supervise over this week that Hudson was put together. So like yesterday, you saw first year experience. Tomorrow, you're going to see basic needs and care team, and you're also going to talk to student housing and residential life. So you'll hear about a lot of those. So I'm going to kind of focus on our student engagement and leadership development and recreation. And those are ways that you can get involved when you're a student. So I know coming in as a transfer student, you are like laser focused on, you know, your academics and you're ready to finish, but we want to definitely encourage you to get involved and, you know, participate in some of the things that we have going on for you because there's so much to do here. So we have many, many different Greek organizations you could join. You can get yourself involved in community engagement and volunteerism. We have about 80 different student organizations available. And then we have our associated students who are actually outside making a lot of noise right now doing their AS Olympics for the end of the year. So that's our student government that you can participate in, and they have lots of great activities and advocacy for our students. And then through recreation, you could do like all of the intramurals. They do day trips and weekend trips and things like that, but they also do sports clubs if you're like particularly competitive. And then also like experiential learning through like the challenge course and things like that. So there are lots of things to do. Another thing you should know, if any of you have children, you should call the daycare center right now to try and get on the wait list because there usually is a wait list for the child care center, but they are supposed to give students priority. So if you have children who are between, I think, 12 months and 5 years old or before pre-K or before kindergarten, then they can go to the daycare center. So it has a sliding scale fee and a place to go. So definitely check in with them if you have children. And then I would say one of our fun signature events that I want you to like get excited about is we celebrate when students do well their very first semester at CSUMB. And that is through our Outstanding Honors program. So I know Addie knows about this. So if you are a new transfer student and you make a 3.5 or better your first semester, you'll be invited to our Outstanding Honors reception to get recognized for making the Dean's List, and then get also invited to our Tau Sigma Honor Society, which is for transfer students. So another cool thing to do. So 4 things, or maybe 4 or 5 other things on my next slide for you guys to know about are Tuesdays with Monty. As transfer students and new students, you have already been getting a newsletter if you've committed already on Tuesdays that says Tuesdays with Monty to tell you all the things you need to know about what's coming up for the next year. Make sure you're reading those and checking your email. As soon as you get a CSUMB email, it'll transfer over to that email address. So make sure you do that. Don't forget to attend summer orientation this summer. Those are the dates, the 17th, 18th, and 21st. We are trying to do them all in person. I believe the 21st is set aside for virtual in case you can't come in person, but we hope you can. Also check out my Raft app once you get on here because that's where all the fun is happening and where you can find all the events. I think some other people have already talked about Otter Days. That's the first week when you get on campus, all the fun things happening. It is for all of our students, not just freshmen. So please make sure you come to all the events during Otter Days because they're for all of our new students and actually all of our students. And then also the Otter Showcase is usually within that first 2 weeks. Come to that and learn about all the different student organizations and things like that to get involved with and all the fun things going on. And then my last slide is just my contact information. I'm always available to talk to students anytime you need anything. That's me, my email address, and our Student Life website. I do have an Instagram account. I'm not very active on it, but it is at CSUMB Otterdeen. If you ever want to, know what's happening, I try to post every once in a while. I'm not very good. So I'm glad you're here. Welcome to CSUMB.
Hi everyone, my name is Diana Ballesteros. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the Associate Director of Operations for the Otter Student Union, also known as the OSU. You can go to the next slide. So Otter Student Union helps manage and support the day-to-day operations, activities, events, and facilities, and helps steward the student experience by advancing a sense of community. And we pride ourselves on adhering to our 4 core values, which is rooted in care, valuing voices, cultivating social justice, and fostering communities. Within our building, we're super excited. We opened officially August 24th for our grand opening. So we're currently right now the newest building on campus. You can go to the next slide. And within our building, we have 3 floors. We have lounge and study spaces, just like Rudy in the OC3 said, people nap there. People nap on all 3 floors of our space as well. We have meeting and event spaces, campus dining, audio and visual technical services. We have a board of directors and marketing communications. And actually what's inside our 3 floors, we have the Otter Student Union office, we have an OSU ballroom, 6 meeting rooms, we have right now 2 study rooms, the campus store, also known as the bookstore, but officially named campus store. We have first year experience office, Foragers Cove, which is where we have bok choy, which is Asian fusion food, and Burger 831, that's burgers and fries. We have the Otter Cross Cultural Center, the Associated Students Office. We have a game room with shuffleboard, 2 pool tables, a dance machine. We have the C-store. I wish I could nap. I can't nap, unfortunately. But whoever does can nap. They can nap in our building. We have Starbucks, which is always a popular hit with everybody. And then we have the Student Engagement and Leadership Development Office in our building. You can go to the next slide. These are just some pictures of outside and inside our building. The top left one is inside our ballroom. Right now we have about 300 people having an athletic banquet down there in the ballroom. So we fit 37 rounds in there. Our biggest right now, we have Otterlands, which is put on by associate students, which will be Spring Festival, which will be this Friday in the ballroom. The top right corner is part of the game room, and then the tops are just the front or the outside of the OSU. You can go to the next slide, please. For you all, we're really excited to have you on board, and we're actually hiring. So we would love for new transfer people to come and work for the OSU. The OSU has a lot of different offices, but within my area and operations, I know that our operations specialists put up the position already on Otter jobs, and it will be open till August, and we'll be interviewing over the summer. So please, if you're interested in working at the information desk and answering questions like where's the bathroom, where's COVID testing, where's my class, and just helping people out, that would be part of that. Also, we have operations where people can set up rooms. So all the chairs on the right-hand side and all the tables are set up by students. So that's also part of the job. I know our audio visual people are also looking for student assistants. So if you're interested in setting up speakers, mics, mixing boards, we're hiring for that as well. And I know that there's other job opportunities, but within our office, we are definitely hiring. So please go to Otter Jobs. We really would love for you all to interview or apply so we can interview you all. I think that might be, oh no, one more slide, please. All right, and then lastly, follow us on Instagram. That's our Instagram handle, the website. Thank you for putting an Otter job link. And then this is the phone and email for the Otter Student Union Information Desk. We're really excited to have you all. And please, please feel free to apply for the jobs and visit the Otter Student Union. We're open 7 days a week during the school year, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10 on Friday, 10 to 10 Saturday and Sunday. It was great meeting you all. Thank you so much.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to CSUMB. My name is Eric Barajas. I'm with the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Center. I just want to make a quick comment to Leslie's comment about everyone is hiring. UROC is not hiring. However, we do have opportunities for funding, which I'll get to in just a moment. Let me jump into what UROC is all about. Please switch to the next slide. We are an academic unit here at CSUMB. We, and that should say opportunities, not sure where that error came from. Lately, it's been a very common error on somebody's. I'm not sure if it's mine or somebody's. I'm going to blame Jacinto today, though. But yeah, we're an academic unit here on campus. We support the learning that's happening in the classroom through research. Now, many of you may or may not know what academic research is, but I guarantee you have all done some sort of research. Anytime you pull out your smartphone, anytime you Google something, if you've done a book report or you participate in your school science fair, you have done research. But the kind of research that we are promoting with UROC is academic research. Please switch to the next slide. And academic research can be, there's a really nice quote that, from the early 1900s that research can be defined as formalized curiosity. It's poking and prying with a specific purpose. And that's what academic research is all about. You are conducting investigations in order to make some sort of original, intellectual or creative contribution to a discipline. How does it begin? Well, it begins with asking a specific question. And here at CSUMB, usually that the research is already happening, whether it's in marine science, in College of Business, ag and soil science, psychology, kinesiology, you name it. There is research being conducted across the disciplines, and we're very proud to support it. And usually you're supporting faculty doing so, but it all starts with a specific question, as I listed here. And then every single discipline has its specific set of rules on how to answer that question. In other words, every discipline has a set of methodologies in order to answer that question. And of course, why do research is to disseminate, is to share the results of your research, whether it's at a national conference or regional or a CSUMB sponsored event. Like last week, we had the research scholarship and creative activity spring showcase. We had about 50 students present their research that they've conducted over the last year. It was our first fully in-person event and full of research posters. It was a fantastic time, and it was really great opportunity for students just to practice their presentation skills in person, which leads me to the benefits that come with research. Go ahead and switch to the next slide. Because there's a tremendous amount of them. For one is hands-on. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. You're going to be conducting some hands-on research. There's a tremendous amount of opportunities with networking. Just a few weeks ago, actually, we took a bunch of McNair scholars to do graduate school visits, and McNair Scholars is one of the programs that we have in our department. And it just so happened that somebody was doing research in public health, and one of the folks that we met over at the University of Arizona just happened to have a summer research experience, fully funded with living expenses covered as well, and just handed it to her because of that connection that we made with her. Networking, very, very valuable. The mentorship, again, everybody needs a mentor. I'm a big proponent that everybody needs some sort of adult ally or trustworthy adult in their life. It doesn't matter how old you are, whether you're a returning student or you're a 20-year-old. The fact of the matter is having people who know people who can get to know you is really powerful, and that happens through mentorship. Okay, and of course, just enhancing your academic and personal skills. There's lots of ways in which students come in real shy, or they may be very introverted, and that's absolutely fine. But the second they start doing work that they care about, it's a whole different game. It's an absolute game changer. And that leads to just intellectual achievement and accomplishments. You know, we've conducted a lot of work over the years, and there's a lot of research that supports a lot of the work that we're trying to promote here, that students who conduct research or participate in undergraduate research do better in school, get accepted into programs, into graduate programs far more at a higher average than the national average. Now, there's a couple of programs that were put in the chat, the researchers and the introductory college, community college research experience, iCare. Those programs are programs that are perfect for all of you. They are semester based, and particularly the second link, the one that says community college apprenticeship research experience, is for students who are doing research in STEM, and that opportunities you can actually apply for this summer. However, the only caveat is that you do have to be an MPC student. So if you're an MPC student, you can actually apply to conduct research in ag and soil science or in fog collection or something STEM related this upcoming summer, and applications are actually due on May 5th. So plenty of time to check out the website and learn more about how you can start your research experience now. Most of the students you see featured here are transfer students, by the way. Everyone in that bottom picture holding a little award folder are all transfer students, and they all placed at our most recent research competition that we hosted last semester. All transfer students. So transfer students, you know, they have quite a big impact on our department and on our campus. So with that, I'm all done. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, Eric Barajas. And just like everyone else, follow our Instagram. But I do have the benefit of being the last one to talk about this. We are the best one. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you, everyone.
Leave it to Eric to make it a competition. So before I provide some other information, let's everybody give a round of applause to everybody who presented today with all that amazing information and connection and resources that are going to help you. So give that virtual clap, that virtual celebration emoji. Appreciate you all. So we're going to have a time for Q&A in just a second. I want to do a few things before I get there, is just make sure that I let you know, one, if you have your cell phone, make sure you scan that QR code. Like I mentioned earlier, it's going to take you to all the social media that we have in the Transfer Student Success Center. We have an Instagram, we have a Facebook page, we have a YouTube channel with a lot of amazing videos that are going to be really awesome resources for you. So I would check those out. The recording of this video, like I said, is going to go there. You'll get an email about that. We also have a LinkedIn page. Make sure you follow us as transfer students. You're going to graduate in about 2 years and then hit the grad school or work world. And so you want to get your LinkedIn up to par. So follow us, and you can definitely have some help doing that. The rest of the week here, you can see Wednesday, we have advising and career development. So all those jobs that Diana was talking about and Leslie were talking about, the career folks will be here to talk about exactly how you do that. Advising will be here to talk about some information. I know a lot of people have questions about when do I register? What do I do? I want to talk to my major advisor. They're going to be here to talk about that. The Cooperative Learning Center, which is our tutoring center, is going to be here to talk about our tutoring services, student disability resources. Then on Thursday, we have basic needs, health and wellness services, personal growth and counseling, as well as student housing and residential life. And then Friday, the Transfer Student Success Center is going to bring it home. Our peer mentors are going to have a panel to talk about their experience, what it's like to transition to CSUMB as a transfer student, what it's like to be a transfer student, all the challenges and successes that they've had. And then we're going to do a CSUMB Kahoot trivia game as well with some prizes at the end. So scan that QR code, make sure you bookmark that link. If one of the peer mentors could also drop the campsite bio link in case you don't have your phone handy, or if you're on your phone, make sure you save that website. All the information that you're going to need about transfer success and support is going to be there. And make sure you attend the rest of our sessions. As you can see, they're brief sessions that provide a lot of information and allow you to connect with professional staff in those areas. And so, of course, we love CSUMB transfers. Got to make sure that we mention that. And now I'm going to stop sharing and give folks an opportunity to ask any questions about anything that they covered. I will say that Julio had to head out early. but we can drop his email address into the chat. He said, please tell folks to email me with their questions. He regretted that he had to run, but he has another presentation he has to do somewhere else. So definitely talk to Julio. So I want to see if the peer mentors, if they noticed any questions in the chat, if we can circle back. No questions in the chat. But yeah, go ahead, Andreas. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you? Okay. I just had two quick questions. The first one, I missed yesterday's. I could find the recording somewhere. I think you guys said that, but yesterday's meeting.
Yeah, that hasn't been uploaded to our YouTube yet, but
Okay.
When it does, you'll get an email.
Okay, and I had a question specific to study abroad as well. I don't know if now's a good time.
Julio left, so
Okay.
let's one of the peer mentors drop his email address into the chat, and then you can email Julio. He gets back
Okay.
to folks really quickly.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
he can definitely help you with that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate the question. So again, if you have questions, go ahead and drop them into the chat, or go ahead and unmute yourself and you can ask. It's challenge by choice. You can participate whatever way is more comfortable for you. And the study abroad link is also there. Madison just dropped that. So this is the time to ask questions of these folks. There's a lot of information, a lot of good programs, a lot of resources if you want any clarification on anything, or you just want to make a comment on something. Also, you could also share, excitement, or if you're nervous or anything like that, this is the time to do it because you have these folks in front of you, as well as a bunch of your peers. So feel free to drop that into the chat or unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello. Can you guys hear me? Well, yeah, this is a question for the UROC, so for Eric. So I know you guys aren't hiring right now, but how else could we get involved with the research programs?
Oh yeah, I didn't circle back to that. The majority of our research opportunities are funded opportunities, which means you're actually provided with a research scholarship to, while you're conducting research. It's not very much, but it does enough to help out a little bit, buy some groceries, keep a roof over your head, maybe have a little fun as well. But yeah, so depending on which program you participate in, you will definitely receive some sort of research scholarship. So in the summertime, it is a little bit higher because, it's an extended opportunity. And we also expect a lot more in terms of your contributions and your workload. But nevertheless, there's the research scholarship is available, and we try to make it available to everyone in order to remove that barrier. Having to choose between a job and, enhancing your academic time at CSUMB is always really tough. And, we try to do our best to remove as many barriers as possible. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's a great question. Appreciate it. I know folks have questions and they're just waiting to ask them. One thing I would like to do is, so Miranda had to step out, the pre-mentor that introduced herself earlier, and Madison stepped in. So I'm putting Madison on the spot a little bit. She tagged out Miranda. So Madison, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Madison. I'm a third-year psychology student with a minor in communication designs. So I'm a third year. I transferred in last semester from College of San Mateo, which is in the Bay Area.
Awesome. I think somebody was going to ask a question. Maybe.
So hi, my name is Ashley. And obviously, well, I'm a transfer student. But so with my raft, I enrolled like yesterday, I think. So how long should it take for me to be able to access it? Because right now when I try to get in, it won't let me.
You probably just have to have you already paid your confirmation fee?
Yeah, we already paid it yesterday.
Okay, yeah, it should happen like 2 days. It should be in there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for folks that have already paid their enrollment confirmation fee, if one of the pre-mentors could drop the MyRAF link to the Transfer Student Success Center join our MyRAF or our MyRAF group. Again, you're going to get a lot of posts from the peer mentors about transfer student opportunities and information and things to do on campus, both academically and socially. That's a really good place to go if you don't check anything else. MyRAF is our student engagement platform, and you're going to get information from every club on campus. You can join any club on campus. You can follow any group. Yesterday we had 10 students, I think, 10 or 11 join MyRAF, the Transfer Student Success Center MyRAF group after yesterday's presentation. So if we can equal that number today, I think we'll be good. So make sure you sign up for all the groups that you're interested in. You can spend more time kind of browsing around at your leisure, but if you could do that right now, join that group, we appreciate it. And be sure to follow all of our social media. And then also, like Leslie said, be sure you register for orientation if you haven't done so yet. Orientation is going to be super important and helpful. I know a lot of people have questions about registering for classes and when they can talk to their major advisor. That is going to be the place that you're going to need to go for no other reason, but there's a lot of other reasons to go, is to talk to that major advisor and make sure that you're prepared for the next week when your registration appointment opens up. Yes, Anthony, you have your hand up. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, so I actually was trying to register for orientation, but after I logged into my account, it brought me to another page where I had to log in again. And I tried using my same password and username, but it didn't work out. So I was trying to figure out if there's like a different username or password that I should be getting to do that, or how that would work.
I think someone was asking that question yesterday, Leslie, and I think Casey said that they might have been trying to access it through the dashboard and not through the actual MyRAF. And I think if that makes sense, I think that was the problem. I think if we can send you the link to the orientations in MyRAF, I think it'll be easier to do it like that. I think that's the problem, Leslie. Does that make sense?
Yeah, or if they went to go try to pay for it. So if you're not paying for any guests, you don't have to pay right at that moment. You could pay, it'll be on your student account. If you're paying for guests, that makes you log in through the student account to pay for it. And that could have been the location, but I'm not sure what the issue was. But if you call First Year Experience, they can help you for sure. Get registered.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to read out a question. We have a student asking if CSUMB will still be offering online classes next semester.
So Leslie's smiling, but I don't, you want to chime in, Leslie?
Yeah, I mean, I think there might be some, but I do think it will definitely be less than normal, than this year.
And I think Leslie, you can correct this, but my understanding is that the online classes are going back to pre-pandemic levels, which means if they were designed as online classes, then they'll be online, and there probably won't be anything beyond that. So kind of the answer is no, with the rare exception. But that's a good question. I'm glad you asked it.
Yeah, and it relates mostly to our accreditation. Our accreditation has us as a an in-person institution, and so only a certain percentage of our classes can be online, and that's already done through our online programs. So that's the reason we don't have a whole lot of extra unless we have a pandemic.
There was a question in the chat. I don't know if one of the pre-mentors picked that up, but I think I kind of lost track of it.
They asked about seeing priority registration next week. Is that when they will be able to see?
No, what will happen is, so all new transfer students and all new students are going to register after orientation. So you basically all have the same registration date. And I don't know what that date is. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. If I can find it, I'll put it into the chat. But you won't be able to register for classes until after orientation takes place. But good questions, keep them coming.
So in regards to registration, since we do have the same registration date basically as like freshmen, like first years, as transfers, do we have any sort of like priority with our classes, or how does that work to make sure that we get the right classes?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so basically, upper division transfer students are going to be registering in different classes than first-time freshmen. Their pathway is going to be a 4-year pathway, and your pathway is going to be a 2-year pathway. So someone who's coming in as a first-time freshman isn't going to be able to register for an upper division class. They're going to have to go through some first-year requirements and second year before they get to that point. So you're not really competing, you're not competing for classes with first-time freshmen because it's just different levels of classes, if that makes sense.
You also have 3 days, in case there was a class you might be taking with freshmen, there are 3 days that you have before freshmen start registering. So get in early when you register.
And that's why it's important to not miss your registration appointment, because if you miss it and 3 days later somebody else registers, you might be in a difficult situation. So make sure you register on your date and time. Yeah, that's a great comment that Addie put in. She said, as a transfer student who has been through that, she can say it's very easy to get classes and that the academic advisor is very helpful with that process. So again, another plug to attend orientation, but also your major advisors are going to start sending you emails. So make sure you check your email and that you read them and you understand them, because they're going to help. Again, those emails are going to prepare you for orientation when you meet with your advisor, which will in turn help prepare you for when you need to register that following week.
So if classes start August 22nd, what day is move-in day?
It depends on where you're going to live. So it'll either be that Friday, the 19th, if you're in a residence hall, which most likely as a transfer student, you won't be. So most likely yours will be that Saturday, the 20th. Actually, that's the right day, Saturday the 20th. And I see a couple questions about advisors. Advisors are going to start emailing you most likely after orientation, because after orientation, you can set up like one-on-one appointments with them.
And somebody has a question about the Otter IDs and where to get them. I don't think we do them online anymore, right? It's all when you come to campus.
No, they can still turn in their pictures online, and they'll either pick them up like before, like at orientation. If they do everything before orientation, they get them at orientation. If they don't, they might get them when they move into their residence hall, or they can pick them up at the campus service center anytime after orientation.
And just to provide a little bit more information, there's been, obviously tons of questions about academic advising and registering for classes. It's a really good reason to attend tomorrow, because academic advising is going to be here to answer some of those questions, especially in more detail. But also one of the differences that, especially folks that come from community colleges, the people that you've met with, you probably refer to them as counselors, and they're the ones who helped you pick your classes. Here at CSUMB, we refer to them as advisors, and they're major advisors. Also, probably most folks, even though it's changing on some campuses, will have been able, or you probably met with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different counselors to get class schedule set up. Here at CSUMB, every major has a specific advisor that you meet with, so you can't meet with just anybody. You meet with a specific advisor that's assigned to your major. Some of the larger majors have more than one advisor, so business has 2 advisors, psychology has 2 advisors, and in that case, it's broken down by alpha. So you can't just meet with any of the business advisors that you want to, but depending on your last name, you'll be assigned to a very specific business advisor or psychology advisor. And again, they'll go over more of that information in depth at tomorrow's session.
And we have a question in the chat about the CSUMB scholarship application, if it's due every semester or once a year.
It's a great question. And we want more transfer students to apply for scholarships. And so the scholarship is due once a year. And it's the beginning of February, usually right around Valentine's Day. And so the application for this year has already closed. But what will happen is you'll get information. They'll probably open it up sometime in late fall, I think. And we'll send out information in our social media and MyRaft. And that's why it's really important to join those groups and follow us, because we'll make sure that transfer students know when that opens up and everything that you need to do to qualify for that scholarship. It's, from what I know, it's very, students are successful in their applications. And I've helped transfer students through that process, and transfer students have gotten that general scholarship. So it's not a super difficult process. It's just about putting some documents together, writing up a letter, and then making sure that you submit it on time. So we can definitely help you through that. But if one of the peer mentors can drop the financial aid link in there, you can find scholarships under the different types of aid. And it'll say closed, but it should still give some of that information so you can familiarize yourself with it ahead of time. It's never too early to start thinking about that, especially because it's free money. So we are a little bit over time, and we definitely don't mind staying and answering your questions. We want to make sure that you have all the information that you need to feel comfortable with making the decision to come to CSUMB, and knowing that you're supported by all these amazing people that are helping you answer these questions and getting you this information. Maybe a few more minutes. I want to make sure that I give folks a chance to either drop their questions into the chat or unmute themselves. So we'll take a couple more minutes to see if anybody else has any questions, and then we'll go ahead and end the session for today. You could also share excitement and nervousness too. That's also welcome.
I have a question regarding the mentorship, how that process is like and how to get involved into that.
Yeah, are you talking about the transfer mentee program?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So if one of the peer mentors could drop that link into the chat. Maddie and Addie, Madison and Addison, they're both peer mentors. We have 8 peer mentors right now. And what happens is you'll fill out an application that talks a little bit about your goals, why you want to work with the peer mentor, some challenges you might have, some interest that you're kind of get to know your personality a little bit. And then what we do is we match you up with one of the peer mentors that we think might be a good fit. And so that's based on, what community college did you come from? What part of the state or country are you from? Are you a parenting student? Different types of things like that we get from the application. And then we match you up with a peer mentor. The peer mentor reaches out to you to start that relationship. And so the idea is that you can meet with a peer mentor at least 3 times a semester. So once at the beginning, once in the middle, and once at the end, to kind of get to know each other, establish some goals, figure out what's going on. The peer mentors also, with all their caseload of mentees, they send a weekly newsletter to all their mentees that are just kind of like a synopsis of all the things that are happening on campus that might be interesting to transfer students that maybe you missed. And they are really flexible and kind of like open to kind of whatever communication students want. So if you want to meet via Zoom because you're a commuter student, or if you just want to text because whenever you need something, or if you want to meet in person, or if you want to do all 3 of those things, it's totally fine. It's just we want to meet you where you are and be able to provide support whenever you need it. And the peer mentors that are working in the Transfer Student Success Center are super excited to reach out to folks. And so the most important thing is just to fill out that application, and then we'll get you some more information, because it's a really good program that provides a lot of good relationships that carry on beyond just that first semester. And in the case of Maddie and Addie, they have a very unique story. So Addie, do you want to share that very briefly?
Sure. So I actually started off as a mentee in the program and then applied for the job and got hired as a peer mentor. And Maddie was actually one of my mentees. And then I suggested that she apply. And now here we are talking in front of all of you guys.
And it's very similar to what Eric was talking about, right? About the more people that you meet, the more opportunities that you engage with, the more opportunities are going to come, right? And so like the more things that you can do are going to just provide a whole different perspective and kind of like experience for you as a student at CSUMB. So definitely make sure you fill out the application and check us out. All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. But if you need to contact us, you have everybody's contact information and social media. Thank you so much for coming today. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at Wednesday's session. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.